bisexual coffee. It's only $7. It won't break the bank.
Sexual coffee. It's only $7. Sit and sip your cup, share both your joy and hollers. Stay and drink your brew, but spill your tea. You might be the asshole or a storyteller like me. Small town cafe where secrets blend with steam. Voices rise and fall like rivers in a dream. From heartbreaks to triumphs, tales unfold. Speak your truth, let your courage be bold. Stay a while, let your heart unwind. This corner booth peace you'll find. Whether you're the rogue or sage so tall, in the warmth of coffee there's room for all.
Oh, there's a naughty Reddit. There's a Christmas naughty Reddit.
There's so much Reddit out there. So this could be like cut into it, or it could just be cold open. I'm fine with that. So there's this little birdie app, not a sponsor, could sponsor me if they want to. It's called Finch. And every time I do something, I tell my little birdie, it's like, I did this. I did my exercise. I drank my water today. I took my pills. I gave my cat pills. Like you give it the list, and then it gives you suggestions on what you want to do because of why you're there. And some of the suggestions that it's given me is like, do 5 push-ups a day, do 5 jumping jacks. And for somebody who hasn't done a lot of exercising, that's a good start. And everything you do gives the birdie experience. And then the birdie grows up from a baby bird to a toddler bird to a teenage bird to an adult
that's
bird.
really nice.
And you
Send
get to
me
dress
that
it,
app.
and you get to dress it up, and you get to, it's stupid cute, and I love it.
I used to do that too. There was a fitness app on my Apple Watch, and I started out using that. But now I do it so it's like a routine. I get up, that's the first thing I do is I go to the gym, because my diabetes, man, if I don't go, then it's like I'll eat something and then my blood sugar, it's like a whole, for me, it's a whole cycle.
Yeah.
So if I go a couple of days without working out and then I eat, let's say I eat a cookie or something like that, it really makes me sick. But if I'm working out and lifting weights and riding my bike, and I can have a cookie with my salad and my juice and things like that,
Yeah.
and it doesn't affect my blood sugar as bad.
Yeah, you see, I've heard of that. About people like actually making you feel bad. For me, it's not. What my diabetes is doing is that it's just not using the sugar I'm putting into it, and so to get energy, it saps it from my body, and I get really thin.
That's what happens. Yeah.
So using helps the body use the sugar before it can start doing that. And I'm up to 15 jumping jacks over just the last week, and up to doing 18 push-ups, which I hate push-ups. I've always hated push-ups.
But you can do them?
Yeah. But now
see,
I can
that's
do it.
amazing, because
Yeah.
I can't, and I exercise every day. Well, I don't want to say I can't. I will in the future. How about that? Potentially I will.
So what brings me joy out of that? Seeing that little baby bird turn into a toddler bird, because I'm taking care of myself. So, welcome to Bisexual Coffee, people, where it's only $7 and it won't break the bank. I'm here with you.
Only $7. It won't break the bank.
And I'm, of course, that's Edith. I say hi, Edith.
Hi, it's Edith.
And it is Edith. And it's me, Michael. We're here. We're waiting for our guest. Our guest should show up. People are busy. We understand that not everybody can show up on time. And, well, dagnabbit, we wanted to be here with you and talk about a little bit about the joy during the holidays. Maybe tell some crazy holiday stories.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Tell me about your best Christmas. Tell me about your most fun, happiest Christmas.
I've had a lot of good...
Hello, non-binary Sydney. Hello, baby.
Sydney.
How are you?
Happy holidays, baby.
How are you?
I love the hat. I love
I
the hat.
do too.
I was hoping one of us would have a Santa hat. I didn't
That's
have one laying
right.
around.
I don't have one, but I've got this. Hold on.
I
Wait
do have
minute.
a Christmas tree headband I could put on, I suppose.
I got something. Hold on.
Okay.
Watch.
While she
I love this
transforms,
hat.
Sydney, where did your camera go?
Oh, my camera's
There
right
you
here.
are.
What do you think? Hello, my name is Edith.
Oh,
I love it.
I love it.
Please do your cosmetics.
Yes.
I gotta
we
do it.
love
I gotta look
cosmetics.
pretty for the pretties.
You
I
love
just
know,
got
I love
home
it.
from work and voice therapy and all that other stuff. So we're gonna go.
excellent.
It's like the what is it, the Princess and the Frog, where she just takes that giant puff and just like hits her face once and she's fine, and
Yeah.
love that
I
movie.
like the nail color too, honey. It's fabulous.
Thinking.
Yes.
It
Oh,
matches
Betty.
the hair.
And the hair.
Mm.
Awesome.
So I have a couple of different calibers of what I consider to be my best Christmas.
Okay.
Hold on, make sure I'm okay. So my best Christmas would be when I was a kid, was when my parents were selling weed, and boy did they have the money. Not only did they have a 9 to 5, but they were also selling weed on top of it. And I didn't know any of that. I just thought they were doing really good at the Felt factory and Walmart. You know, I thought like they were just top of their class. And they got me like this is when I get addicted to video games. They get me a mountain, like a variable like pyramid of toys on top of the living room table that will not fit underneath the tree. And I just toddle into the room. Obviously, gifts are there. We had great meals. Like my parents were still about like cooking like awesome food. The breakfast was tight. Gifts were tight, and then the Nintendo Entertainment System came into my life that Christmas, complete with Super Mario 3, Super Mario 1, and Sky Shark, which was me and my dad's favorite game to play until Contra came out. I don't know if anybody here knows anything about NES.
Sydney does. I don't.
Contra was top tier shooting games. Absolutely. That was really good for my kid Christmas. For my adult Christmas, I'd probably have to say the best one that I've had, because I had a lot of good ones. I've had some that have just kind of passed me by just because like maybe I had to work or something that day, because I've had a couple of jobs at work on Christmas Day. But I would say it would be the first time that I got with the in-laws in my current marriage. We all went up there to Blairsville. I was so nervous.
The in-laws.
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect. You hear in-laws. In-laws has such a stigma surrounding it, just the word in-laws. I go up there. The cabin is cozy. It's filled full of people. They had gotten nothing but good words from me, from my wife, and so they're ready to just say hello. And I didn't realize how warm that hello was going to be, and how family like. No, I'm not going to say storybook family, but it's one of the best family dynamics that
Welcoming.
I've ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that Christmas, just sitting there, and somebody, everybody had a stocking. We all sat around. People were getting drunk off their ass. It was just a fun time with a whole bunch of strangers that made me feel so much like not a stranger. They pulled me in instantly. So that was
So the Nintendo was the best gift? That was going to be my next question. Sydney, you got to answer that.
It was definitely the most life-shaping gift. If I hadn't got that Nintendo when I did, would I make sure that I had a gaming system, some kind of gaming system in my life at that point every year? No, I don't know if I would. But it definitely was the most life-shaping gift. It's hard to say what the best gift was, but I don't know. I also
Sydney.
have a horrible memory for that. So it's
I wanna
Sydney's turn
know.
to recount things.
My turn. Okay, so favorite Christmas and then best gift.
Yeah.
My favorite Christmas as a kid was probably when we first got our first NES too. Like I'm gonna have to follow you on that one. Because like me and my brother, like I remember like Christmas Eve and stuff, we'd always replay the nativity scene and stuff when I was a kid, and one of us had to play Mary, the other one had to play Joseph, of course,
You were
which
Mary?
one? Always. And we got to open one present every year as kids, and the one present that we picked just happened to be the SNES with Duck Hunt. We got it taken away because we had to go to sleep for Santa, right? And we would sneak out that night, and we got into so much trouble because we were caught downstairs playing Duck Hunt for hours and hours and hours, and my parents heard us when they got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to put the presents out, right? So that was probably one of my favorite as a kid. As an adult, I'd have to say the first Christmas that I had with my daughter and my son, so that would have been Christmas of 2006. Just because it was like, that's I don't know if like there's something in me that when I was growing up, that was like the idea of what I really wanted. Still kind of is like having a family and like we were all together and it was just amazing. And it was just that was probably like my most tender one. But my favorite
Aw.
gift ever is actually I wonder if I've got no I've got I do have it right here. This
You
one.
still have it.
I do.
Atomic Habits.
By
Atomic
James
Habits.
Clear.
Wow.
My daughter gave me this because like we've been a little bit strange because my addiction stuff, but we started talking like before this past Christmas, and she's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And I was like, I was blown back, and I'm like, "Get me a self-help book." And she actually spent like a lot of time researching this one, and so she got me this one. And I've read this probably like 5-6 times so far, and it's really
Aw.
helped me out, and it's really something special for me. So because we're starting to rebuild those communication things. So
That's
I
great,
think I
man.
read that book and it's really good. And it's like a blueprint on how to live an impeccable life.
yeah,
Am I right? Yeah.
yep.
I love that book. It's an amazing book and I have it on Audible. So I'll listen to it while I'm in my car. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a
Whereas
good
I
book.
am
Thank
listening
you.
to Fairy and Face Mutt while I'm driving around. So, to each their own.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with Sydney there. I'm an addict. In order to get myself, I have to travel kind of straight and narrow, and I need help being straight and narrow because I'm not really straight and I'm not really narrow. Yeah, so I've got like a plethora of those self-help books. But for me, my
Nothing wrong
best
with that.
Christmas, yeah, my best Christmas was when, and it's so probably inappropriate, but we would go to a restaurant called Sambo's. Does anybody remember Sambo's? Little Black Sambo?
No.
There was a restaurant when I was growing up called Sambo's, and my mom bought me a tiger. My favorite gift was a tiger from this restaurant, and it was underneath the Christmas tree. I lost my
Aw.
shit. It was just the coolest tiger ever. And the story, I can't really remember the story. It was a little black kid who lives in the jungle and he comes across a tiger and they become friends or something like that. I don't
Oh, okay.
remember.
So it's not the
Yeah.
Jungle Book.
No. It's even older than that. Look, I'm
Gotcha.
55, y'all. You're just a couple of youngins to me.
I
That's
mean,
it.
time's
I'm
relative
a
and all that, They say that time
yeah.
could just be a ball and it's all happening at once, and this is the only way we can
Yeah,
understand it.
totally. That's it.
Who knows? Was it a stuffed tiger? Was it a wooden
It was
tiger?
a stuffed tiger. And it
That's
came
cool.
with the book. It came with
Nice.
the book. I'll see if I can find it and I'll attach it to this episode, up here somewhere or something.
Sure.
But yeah, that was just hands down the best gift. The funniest gift, you guys still have to do the funniest gift. All right. So the funniest gift was I was into self-help books even when I was a little kid. All right. So I gave my sister like 5 self-help books.
Oh,
Like
wow.
5. Yeah. And she gave me now, if this doesn't scream gay, queer, whatever, I give her these self-help books like, here, you need to come out. You really need to work on yourself. She gives me a shirt with an American flag on it. We were 9 and 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So bad.
So,
Yeah.
funniest gift, you say?
Funniest.
I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of like gag gifts or gifts that I would have found like, oh, this is hilarious. Like normally people, when they give me gifts, it's always been like really good on the utilitarian thing because they realize that I might like look good in a particular jacket or hat. That's how my in-laws shop. Marley likes to go straight for the heart. She bought me a book one time. Had a book made one time of my travels to California with my brother. I guess I'm surrounded by sentimental and very practical people.
No jokes.
Yeah, it's not jokes. It's always like they're always just gifts. It's like, oh, you're either gonna love this is gonna pull on your heartstrings, or damn it, you're gonna look dashing in it.
No white elephant party gifts?
The only white elephant party parties that I've ever been to have been like corporate related, and so it's so it's at best maybe PG-13 if the gift is a little risque or funny, but it's all been in the spirit of just like Christmas party type situation.
Sydney?
So sorry to disappoint.
No, that's all right. Sydney, come on. Do you have anything like funny?
I do.
Okay,
So I
let's
used
hear
to
it.
work at, and gonna give a shout out to them, Area 51 in Salt Lake City, Utah, Gothic Industrial Club. We got together for our Christmas parties, and the one year I got, what was it, one of those gummy, like penis gummy things.
Oh, yeah.
And then also it was like a half a gallon of like lube, and I don't know where they got it from, but those were probably the funniest ones that I've gotten.
That's a lot of damn lube.
That is a lot of lube. I saw that in Key West. There was a store in Key West where you could buy like a gallon at a time. And I'm thinking, oh my God, no.
Like
The work that it would take.
Yeah, like for single, like let's say you're in a throuple. Like that's still not enough people for you to justify a gallon of lube before it starts getting like weird by halfway through it. Like, like maybe some dust has settled in it. Yeah, it's just clumpy now.
A hair at the top of the bottle.
You're gonna have
Just
to go
one weekend at a P. Diddy party. It's fine.
That is true, right?
Good for you. You beat me to it. I was gonna say like some kind of orgy, maybe orchestrated by, and then you were like, "Yep, you were in there,
P.
right in
Diddy.
the pocket." Good job, Sydney. You did it.
I still haven't watched the documentary, guys. I can't.
Oh, I don't want to.
I can't.
I
cannot bring myself
got enough
to
through
it.
my Twitter feed and TikTok stories. I was like, I'm good. I don't need to know anything
There's
else.
a naked holiday Reddit. I mean,
well, of course there is.
I kind of accidentally jumped in there. They show things.
Yeah, Reddit is more or less uncensored because like what they'll do is they'll ask a lot of places they'll ask us like, hey, this is probably going to hit somebody's like all feed, so at least put like the blur sensor over it. They can click on it if they want. Yeah. In fact, I think probably pound for pound, Reddit probably has more porn on it than Tumblr used to back in the day. And porn's getting back on Tumblr now, but it's nowhere near. I mean, Reddit, it used to be nothing at all for you to just click on there, and then it was just boobs, ass sticks for days. I mean, it was just. And I was like, I'm so glad this is here. This is not what I'm looking for. Give me the memes,
It wasn't
please.
what I was looking for either.
I want the memes.
I was looking, Sydney. I was looking for a funny story, but I think. Do you have one? Do you have one?
I definitely have one.
Okay.
There are all types of links. This one comes from a post on Ask an American. It was posted 4 years ago, and it's just, let's hear your funniest Christmas stories. It's hard to search for just like a single story. A lot of times it is asking people to put their stories in the comments. And that's when this one is. The top one was not bad. It was not bad at all. A little bit of like quick trauma for a kid that probably comes, that looks like it just disappears immediately. My sister and I stayed up really late on Christmas Eve. We removed all of our youngest brother's presents from under the tree, and then we emptied his stocking. We stowed all the presents behind the couch, and we put all of the stocking stuffers in a bag. He was like 8 at this time. We meticulously wrapped and put bows on boxes to him. We filled all of them with charcoal briquettes and Q-tips. Still don't know why we chose Q-tips. On Christmas morning, he got to go first because he's the youngest. Tore into his first box, and his face just dropped. He went out and turned and ripped out present number 2, only to find more coal and Q-tips. He ran to the other room where the stockings were dumped out. It was a plastic bag filled with charcoal and Q-tips. He lost it. My parents had no idea what we had done, and I think my dad was ready to just beat us for ruining Christmas. So my brother finally got to... my brother found it together, and we showed him where we stashed all his toys, and he was happy as hell after that. To this day, probably 25 years later, I still get called the Christmas Grinch by my whole family. Everyone conveniently forgets how complicit my sister was in this. Those presents didn't wrap themselves, and I suck at wrapping. There's a nice little story.
Yeah.
Is there any that you found, Edith? Because if not, we can like discuss these as we go on, and I'll just like kind of finish out on this one for a couple of more.
I have some experience on Reddit. I'm kind of newish to the whole Reddit thing.
Okay.
I have a very different feed because all of my stuff is cooking right now. Also have like some light BDSM stuff, but we're just trying to figure out how to intertwine those. So it's
like,
fine.
Light.
the standard is like a For You page, right? Everything that you've clicked on, that you followed, it's like, okay, cool, this is what you want more of. But if you dare to scroll down to the bottom of the options of everything else and just click r/all, it's a hot, sweaty time in there. Also,
It is
a lot
a
of
hot,
weird,
sweaty time.
a lot of weird political shit too. But it is what it is. All right,
I can share this on
please.
TikTok. I was with not TikTok, Clapper, because when TikTok was going out, I guess, some people feel like it's not going to stay, and then there's some people that, doesn't really matter. Well, everybody that I know went over to Clapper. So I went over to Clapper. That thing is dark. There was one episode where a father wrapped up cat food for his son and had his son unwrap the cat food. Well, the little kid started crying. Well, why wouldn't you start crying?
Right.
You
I'm not a
know?
cat. Why did you do
I
this
know,
to
right?
me?
I'm not a cat. Well, that's what I was thinking. We have a lot of the adults that are, what an ungrateful little boy, and that's what I don't like about Clapper. Have you been
Adults
on
tend to
there?
forget what it's like to be a kid, to have like the expectation and wonder that something's going to be like awesome that day, and then the
Right.
rug gets pulled right out from
It's
underneath you.
built up. It's
Oh.
like roar, So
So yeah, that's again, it is just a mark of adults forgetting how to be kids, which sucks. You hate to see somebody just become a curmudgeon, especially around the end of the year holidays, whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or if you just get together with family because that's what everybody does.
well, I can tell you what I'm doing for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
I'm working. I'm making $50 an hour working.
yeah,
There
that
you go.
makes sense.
Yeah, I'd just rather work.
My company's off for a week, and I realized that the closer that we got to it, that I wasn't using my pay time off, and so I used it to fill out the 4-week work days before then. So
Okay.
I've effectively given myself 2 full weeks off. Merry
That is
Christmas
so
to me.
cool. What
There
about
you go.
you? What
I
about
am
you, Sid?
going to be sitting around and working all the time.
Yeah, me
Alright.
too.
But that's okay.
I'm
It's okay.
happy with it. I'm happy with it. The whole capitalism, like my brother lives in Portland, Oregon, so I'm going to send them a card.
Nice.
And then my roommate is leaving for a couple of weeks up north, so there's that, and he'll get his present when he gets home. That's it. I'm just going to work and sleep and ride my bike and eat too much.
And stay away
There you
from
go.
stores, because those places are going to be a freaking
Oh yeah,
nightmare.
no. I got on the road to go get my cat some food, and it's nutty because everybody's out after work shopping.
Yeah, trying to squeeze it in, because I don't know if you guys heard this. There's a lot of retail stores that they're not just leaving it up to their local managers if they're going to close. They are like mandating a full nationwide closure, and that includes I know 2 of them right now, and I could probably find more. But Dollar General, which they didn't used to mandate that all their stores closed, but they're doing that this year. And Walmart, they're not leaving it up to the local managers anymore. All the
Okay.
Walmarts will be closed, which a lot of them were already closed, or at least had like severely limited hours, but they're just the whole of the 25th, they're all going to be closed. So people, I think, are getting wind of that, and they're getting a little antsy. They're starting to fill out those stores right now.
Well, what about Black Friday? Did anybody do Black Friday?
Nope.
Nope. Me
I didn't-
either.
I didn't go online, and also we're trying to hold on to money, man. We're looking at new insurance, straight up adult problems
Sure,
over
yeah.
here.
Yep.
We're not buying a lot of extra stuff.
But that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
That is a
Yeah.
lot of people. So I don't feel bad about that at all.
no. It'd be interesting to see when Black Friday dies, because the hype around it is becoming more and more cynical with every year that it hits.
No one needs a television anymore.
Right. As
Yeah.
I posted in my Blue Sky, and it was the most liked thing that I've put up so far. I've only been over there for like a little bit, but and those of you who don't know, Blue Sky is basically an older feel of what Twitter used to be before
Okay.
it became the mismatch of like ads and greed and everything that
Ads
was
and
on there.
greed.
Now, there will be ads later, but right now I'm enjoying it without ads. But I put on there, no, and I just put random names. No, Darren, I don't want another damn flat screen TV for Black Friday. Call me when meat goes down 70% because I'll be there to wreck your aisles. And people were like,
Right?
yeah, this guy knows what's up.
No one needs
Discount
a
on
TV.
eggs.
Give me some cheap protein. That's all I need, man. Because for some reason, if it's not, hell, even nuts are going up in price too, man. Just all forms of protein. So
Food and snacks are all going up.
the produce aisle is doing okay right now for what I'm getting, because I don't get anything overly complicated. It's normally like for servings that we need for a week is like only like $2 or $3 per like group of whatever vegetable I'm getting. But I digress. This one is it's a little scatological. Okay. But it wasn't funny. It's a story that they say that it wasn't funny at the time, but now it's super hilarious and will always be forever known as a Christmas surprise. So let me set the stage real quick. My family always goes to Christmas Eve Mass, and then we come home and we exchange our Secret Santa gifts between siblings. It's a tradition at this point. There's a lot of us, my 2 sisters, my brother, parents, my grandparents, and my sister's fiance. So we're all in multiple cars. Mass had ended, and I left with my oldest sister and her fiance to go back home. The others were several minutes behind us. Another important thing. We have 2 small dogs, a Chihuahua and a Chihuahua Terrier mix. We put in small cages when we leave the house. So my sister, her fiance, and I get back, and as soon as we walk in the door, we're bombarded with the smell of hot poop. It's so pungent that my eyes are watering. Definitely in my top 10 worst things I've ever smelled. No idea how long the poop had just been sitting there, but it was long enough that the entire house smelled like shit. It was like we were choking on it. God, they just keep going. They're talking about how bad it is. There's like 4 more sentences. I'm not reading all that.
Poop. I mean,
So the 3 of us are just yelling and freaking out at the smell. The house alarm is going off because we forgot to turn it off when we walked in. The dogs are barking to be let out of their cages like they always do because they know we just got home. So I go over, and obviously the smell is getting worse the closer we get to them. I'll let the terrier mix out of his cage first because he's completely clean. The Chihuahua, on the other hand, well, he didn't just poop in his cage. He had full-blown explosion. His doggy bed was soaked. It had leaked into the hardwood floors. It had exploded onto the walls. The small white Chihuahua had practically rolled in it, and he's sopping wet. His fur is stained, and he's just sitting there barking at me, wiggling like crazy, so happy that I'm home, and slinging shit everywhere because he wants to be let out of his cage.
No, that's so bad.
And I'm just sitting there in my dress and heels. I'm really trying not to throw up and trying to figure out how I can let him out of his cage without letting him drag the liquid poop all over the house and the furniture. Oh my God. Okay. I gotta get my diet. I want to keep chuckling. My mic keeps bouncing. So my sister finally gets to the back door yelling, "Potty? Gotta go potty?" Since that's our dog's cues to just run straight outside. Luckily, the little poo mop went straight out the door, and so he didn't drag poo all over the place. There were just a few drops on a straight trail to the back door, and it could have been much worse. But the cage, the floor, the wall, they're just destroyed. If you ever seen,
I can taste it now.
I think we've all have experienced bad dog poop in a localized situation.
Oh yeah.
And one day I'll regale you with my story. We're not going to keep going with the poop story after this one, but we're almost done. If you've ever seen the scene from Bad Grandpa where he sharts on the wall, then you can picture exactly what kind of mess we're staring at. But this wasn't a prank. They just want to make sure that they just want to make sure it's all shit. It's all on the walls, and I'm the one that has to clean it up. I'm the one who loves animals so much that I want to work at a vet. So naturally, I get stuck with all the gross jobs as practice. Also, because I'm the only one besides my mom who doesn't freak out and throw up when when close and personal with doggy poo or other nasty stuff. I'm still the one who cleans all that up. Anyway, the first thing I did was just toss out the entire bed. It was soaked, not worth saving. I threw out the food bowl, the water dish, and I had to use an entire paper towel roll to sop up the hardwood flooring cage. Don't forget, I'm doing this with my bare fucking hands because I can't find any rubber gloves. I had to drag the cage away from the wall so I could get close enough to clean it. But in my haste to clean everything up, I forgot that liquid poo can spread underneath the cage.
No.
So, of course, I just spread this poo further along the floor. I don't know how I've been able to avoid that, however. So my fiance quickly carries the cage outside so it could be hosed off. And that makes more shit drop onto the floor between the cages and the back door. I'm so focused on cleaning the epicenter of this disaster that my sister opens up the floor trail where I'm still focused on it. My sister cleans the floor trail where it dribbled, and I finally get the wood floor completely wiped up and disinfected with Clorox so I can get closer to the wall without putting my heels or, God forbid, my bare feet in diarrhea. Then I start wiping it off the walls. Surprisingly, it didn't stain or tint the white paint brown, so at least there's that. Now, at this point, I have been cleaning up shit for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. I didn't have to be the one that bathed the poop dog, since everyone agreed I had done more than my fair share. Mom had to go outside and pick him up with an old bath towel and carry him straight to the tub. And I spent 5 minutes furiously scrubbing my hands with soap. I'm imagining like Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, ouch, damn spot. I'm cleaning it up with my bare hands and it got all over me, but I was lucky that none of it had gotten onto my dress. None of it got onto the dress or my heels. So yeah, that's the infamous 2015 Christmas surprise. Hopefully it made somebody laugh. Looks like it did.
Oh, my face hurts.
Yeah, it's still a nightmare. It's still a nightmare when I think about it. That's good.
Okay.
That was a good long story. And that's the Christmas joy that I bring to you guys.
Oh my God. Look.
Small body, such massive volume is all I'm thinking.
I can smell it.
Poor
I can
dog.
taste it. I can feel the heat. Just what a well written.
They did great. They came in to slay with their words, and they did a great job.
They did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
It's
my
the
God.
second. It's the second favorited post on there, and I think the only reason it isn't more is because some people, even if it is in a humorous situation, some people just, they hear dog poop and are like, I don't want to hear about that. But hey,
come on, dogs are awesome.
live with this person's misery. Commiserate with them. That's important. So yeah, I feel like we've all had much better Christmases than that. Hopefully, that was 2015, so. They've had 9 years to get better Christmas. Well, 8 years coming up on the 9th.
Well, to recover from the smell too. I mean, that takes a while.
Just to
I
purge
haven't
that
had a
from your
dog
memory.
in a while, so
I don't want this episode to be about dog poop, but I mean, I feel like this is now a story in the forefront of my mind. The worst time that we moved into an old trailer that was basically just a tin can painted blue, and it was warm outside, and while we were gone, our medium-sized yellow Labrador mutt mix got into some chocolate donuts and proceeded to repaint the carpet that we had in the middle of the floor. It was a nice new carpet too. We were really happy that we got it. It was a housewarming gift, and again, like I said, it was really warm outside, so all it did was bake. It was horrible. And so yeah, I think that's where my memory of that smell came along with that story too. That started creeping up in my nose memory.
Edith has a story about poop, and it was at Christmas time. And so my ex-husband has a restaurant, and it's called Mima's Alaskan Tacos, and it is in Ybor City in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to work there, and mind you, it was all men at the time and only me.
Okay.
Well, we served beer, and we would be open until 4:00 in the morning. We'd get everyone nice and drunk, fill their bellies full of tacos and nachos and beans. Okay. Nice. And then they would proceed to go into our bathroom during the holidays. Somebody went in there and I'm going to say it, just shit. Just filled the toilet full of shit to the point, and then they must have been in there flushing and flushing and flushing until it just billowed out of the commode, and it came into the kitchen. And do you know who all those lovely men looked at to clean up that mess?
Oh, of course.
Me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the nurse.
Yeah.
I deal with it all the time.
You're used to shit all the time.
So I did clean it up. I sure did. I was in there for 2 hours. And I'll tell you, that's the last time I worked at Mima's Alaskan Tacos.
Holy hell.
I didn't want the, what do they call it? The shit can job?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I wish for everybody better Christmases than both of those.
Less poop.
Let's do a hard pivot before another shit story comes into our minds.
Hold on, before we do, I hope everyone has a less shitty Christmas. Hashtag dad joke. Gotcha.
Aha, thank you. Thank you,
welcome.
Sydney.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's a good cap for
Yeah.
that. So we've got about 20 minutes, and I feel like that's a good time for either one of us, maybe like 8 minutes, 9 minutes at a time. That math doesn't work out. To talk about just a couple of things, maybe two things. I think two would be good. And explain why. What's sparking joy in our life right now, and not just because of holiday joy. You know, the stuff that we get because of nostalgia. You know, the lights, the colors, the temperatures dropping, depending on where you live. Sometimes you don't even feel that dropping. Like right now, it was 66 degrees here in Georgia and just wet and gross. But
Wet and gross.
it was wet and gross. Yeah, two things that spark joy that aren't necessarily holiday related. Something that's making you actually feel that moment of, you know, your face lights up because this is happening, or you've received a certain thing. And Sydney, since you're the guest, you get to go first.
Cool. So I guess like two things that are kind of really, really bringing me a lot of joy is I have now kind of not been on the market, but also kind of on the market. I'm dating this dude from down in St. Petersburg, Florida, and he has been super awesome and super healthy, and brought a lot of challenging things to my life to be able to keep me on track so I can grow. And we also have like really deep conversations, and he's got like the right kind of sexuality with me, and everything else is just flowing perfectly. So I'm really, really excited. It's new. It's like less than a month, but I mean, things are going really, really well.
I like the healthy part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he's
I don't know.
from St. Petersburg. What's
Yeah.
not great about that?
Exactly.
Tell
I
him
get
that
to
Edith
go to the
says
beach.
hi from Tampa.
I definitely
Please.
will.
Yeah, please.
I know he's been begging
That's-
for the link, so I'm gonna make sure he gets it because he wanted
Nice.
to send the other
good.
ones.
Yeah. And then
the
what
other one,
else?
Yeah, one more.
my kiddo graduated basic training.
Hey.
Oh, excellent.
So, yep, following in my footsteps, and he's doing good. So I got to go see him graduate, and got to get out to California, which was really awesome last month, and got to sit by the beach with him, and it was all around good. So those are my two joyful things that I really, really enjoyed having in my life.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Want
that's
to know,
good news.
getting out of boot camp. So what's going to be? Is it called MOS in the Marines? I don't know.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, what's his MOS?
So as of right now, it's technically an engineer. He did injure himself, so he's got to heal up. And then as long as like the healing and the schooling time, start time match up, then he can still do that. But also if it doesn't match up, then he may get reassigned and go somewhere else. But we're not sure yet.
Okay, well, I mean, he passed. He's in there. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. He's in the system now. That's awesome. And since I asked the question, I guess it's Edith's turn now.
Wow. So, I've been traveling for the past few years, and I've been really, really looking for myself. And I have to say, in this past month, what really has brought me joy is not being an ego.
Okay.
I don't have to be an ego anymore. I don't feel like I'm constantly trying to figure myself out, or I'm trying to quit something, or somebody's screwing me over, or I've got to, ego is just such an awful place to be. And especially I speak up for myself now.
Hey.
I haven't. Yes. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, Michael. I speak up for myself, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, and I say how I feel. And especially at work, I have to tell you this little story.
Please do.
Some of the aides like to give me shit. They are little ghetto queens, and I get that. And normally I just blow through it and I don't say a word, and they keep up their crap, right?
Okay.
Throughout the whole shift, and it makes me uncomfortable. This last couple of times, I said, don't test me. Do not test me. Do not disrespect me. I am here to help you, and you're here to help me. And that is it with our relationship. We are not friends. We're not girlfriends. I'm not your mother. I'm not here to take a beating for you.
Hell yeah.
So I've never done that, and I got mad respect from them for doing that. They cleaned up their act, and they helped me, and I'm there. I'm there for you. I'm there. I'm here to help you. Why are you making this so tough?
Yeah, why are you turning away help? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So does that bring me joy? Yes. Standing up for myself brings me such joy.
That brings me joy for you. It really does.
Yeah, I know, I smoke a little bit at bedtime, to help me just kind of go to sleep, but I don't smoke during the day anymore. Sugar, I limit it. I haven't cut it completely out, but I limit it. And before I was a sugar addict. So what brings me joy now is waking up in the morning, exercising, and riding my bike. Yeah.
What two wonderfully holistic joys that you have found in yourself that like literally start from within and start manifesting without. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really
Good for
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you.
All right.
Michael.
So I've done that thing where I've asked a question and then let the other people go to give me enough time to think about my answers. The first thing that has brought me an immense joy, and I've seen it kind of culminate over the last few days, and that is making friends with this guy named Ryan Bray back in 2008, 2009. Quick story about how we met. We met at Arby's. Okay, we're introduced. We both realize that we both have kind of like the same kind of personality when it comes to meeting each other, like talking to people, the way that we put ourselves out there. And we just melded from there almost immediately. It wasn't long before he was a roommate with me and my wife. And, you know, he kind of grew up from teenager to young adulthood with us, like late teenager, 19, like that teen. And we were, because I was like 23 at the time. So it's not like we were like a large, anyway, we wind up putting out videos on MySpace, silly little videos that had like large overarching stories. He taught me how to paint. I wound up going to like his house for Christmas a couple of times, became friends with some of his friends. Flash forward like years later, he's introducing me to the guy who that we didn't know at the time was going to talk me into writing my first book.
Oh, neat.
And then this guy, whose name's Todd A. Davis, a wonderful guy. I am now linked in with his live D&D show and also maybe working on a few other projects with him as well. And after our last show, we're sitting there and having dinner like almost 11 o'clock, eating Mexican food because that's the best food to eat at 11 o'clock at night.
It is. It is.
Truth.
And the guy who's sitting next to me, I recognize him because I've been over to some Todd A. Davis's Friendsgiving events, and I recognize the guy. I couldn't remember his name. He said, "Oh, my name's John, and I know about comic books. I'm with Richard's Comics. Richard's Comics is the one shop that Ryan goes to every comic book day, once a year, to go draw for people, like sketch for people, and hand out his comics for free." And so I was like, okay, so I know Richard's Comics. I was like, "What's your last name?" And the guy says his last name, and I'm like, "Ryan Bray talks about you all the time." So Ryan's been such an integral part of my life, even though we don't, there's periods where we just don't talk. But it's been a joy to watch his family grow. It was a joy to grow with him, and the art and friendship and brotherhood that we have. So that man right there, one of the biggest points of joy in my life right now.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
And then the other one, and this is silly, stupid, and wonderful, and it is the sheer amount of rubber ducks that are coming to me recently. I don't know if you guys know this, but I collect rubber ducks. I don't seek them out.
Good to know.
When I find them, or if people give them to me, that's cool. But I don't seek them out. I don't like go to a store and like, all right, this is the day I'm buying 5 ducks. No, when they come across and they're reasonably priced, or God forbid, sometimes they're free because they're not even supposed to be there. Like one time there was a gold duck just sitting in a display that was left over from an old display in a Bath and Body Works. And I asked him, I was like, "How much is that duck?" He was like, "Here, have the duck." I'm like, yes. And a
That's
friend of
the way
mine
to
just
get a
recently
duck.
bought me a rubber duck advent calendar. And I'm on day 10. And as soon as we get done with this, I'm filming me opening up the 10th one. Rubber ducks and brotherhood, people.
I
Those
love
are my
it.
2 points of joy.
Look, we all sound like we're doing good. I love it. We checking in with each other, and it's going to be a great Christmas. And Sydney, you bring me joy. That story about you and your friend from St. Petersburg, that is great. I'm so happy for you. Merry
Thank you.
Christmas, my friend.
Merry
Yep.
Christmas. Merry Christmas to both of you. And to just keep
Yeah, Merry
piling on top of
Christmas.
Sydney, you're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's not just, it's not just what you do to your face, but also the shape of your face. You can tell there's some health in it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we love-
happiness. I
we
see
love-
the joy.
We do love to see that.
Yeah.
I have to ask a question, and we can cut this out if you don't want to talk about it on the podcast. What happened to your channel,
So when I was out in Coronado,
TikTok channel specifically?
yeah. So when I was out in Coronado with my son, we were down at MCRD San Diego. I hooked up with a buddy of mine that I served with, and I served with him like almost my entire 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of discussion about social media and like what kind of presence I'm having on there. We also had like a lot of discussion about how much time that's been taking out of my life and a lot of anxiety and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
There's been, since I started that channel, there's been like a couple of different evolutions of what I've kind of portrayed, and like this weird journey thing, but also like me getting lost and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said that social media, from his perspective, really kind of has screwed me over with a lot of things and like my journey and where I need to be versus where I am. So I talked with my son, and he said that he stopped following me on certain social media stuff because like I don't know, for whatever reason there were certain things that was wearing on him too. So I didn't want to put that kind of toxic stuff that was out there already. So I took everything down. We're reassessing a lot of stuff. We're growing a lot. I'm going through a lot of different changes with therapy and with the substance abuse program and stuff, which I'm almost done with. But I'm just taking some time to like kind of regroup and put everything where I need it to be. So if I'm going to relaunch, when I do relaunch, it's going to be something that's truly authentically me, not just the version of me that is one day really hurt and sad and painful, and then the next day is something else. Like I'm going to have the idea of what I am and who I am versus the mess
That's
that has been.
beautiful.
Wow, that's I'm hearing a real butterfly chrysalis metaphor, not metaphorical, manifestation. Nope, that's not it. Metamorphosis.
Metaphysical?
But it,
Metamorphosis. Okay.
A
it's
lot of
definitely
meta.
is that I am doing now, instead of talking about, I mean, because of the, and I will edit this part out, but because of the bipolar disorder and the ADHD and and the autism and things that I had to deal with being an addict, now that I am telling myself, you know what, I'm a whole person.
Yeah.
I am a whole person.
Yeah.
And I don't have to talk about my addiction every single day. And I don't have to talk about how I'm addicted to people or addicted to the perspectives of people. Now what I need to be doing is focusing on my fitness, focusing on preparing. I'm going because I'm newly found Jewish. I was born, my parents brought me up as Baptist in a Baptist cult and denied anything to do with being Jewish. Didn't bring me up to be Jewish at all.
Right.
Brought me up to be Baptist. So I'm going to the Camino in Santiago, Spain, to do a pilgrimage walk to embrace being Jewish. I'm also going to Auschwitz, and I'm going to Berlin. I'm going to London, and I'm going to Paris, and I'm going to Jewish monasteries while I'm there to meet other Jewish people. I'm feeling a little emotional
And
because
that's how I suggest you actually leave this in, because this is really good.
Yeah, it's
better than you think it is. It's good to see this. I think you're gonna like to see it too.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to be something and never even understand. No one's even talked to me about it, or they just brought me up as someone else. I'm not that person. And I have so much love in my heart, and I thank you both so much for being here. I go through so much identity crises, and it's nice now to finally know who I am.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Hey, you're
I'm
welcome.
so proud of you. I'm so excited for you too. This is awesome.
That is you have it. I have seen you open up before, like in the attempt to share with somebody and everything, but I don't think you really like reached down so far that you hit your vagus nerve before. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing. This is wonderful. Oh God, I wish I was there, because whenever anybody cries, my first instinct is to like dad hug somebody. You know, it's like, oh, come here.
Yeah. Well,
I love you.
Telling you,
I really do.
I love you too. I love you both so much. I'm so glad I could be with you both and share with you both, because I know you genuinely care. Sydney, you're going through it. You've gone through it, and you know what it's like to be in an ego where you're like, no, I'm this person, and then the next minute you're like, no, I'm this person, and then no, I'm this person. No, I'm Edith. My name is Edith Ive Rosenblatt. It's a nice Jewish name. I love it. And I can't wait to have it legally changed.
And if people don't believe it, it's on your hat.
It is.
Like,
Hello. Hello, my name is Edith.
Love it.
So on
All
that
right.
note, I'm all boogery now.
Yeah, on that nice, warm, and wet note that doesn't have to do with anything dog related.
And it's not hot poop.
Poop. God, that word will never not be funny. They all say that it's not, and it is. It is funny, damn it. All right. I think that was a good episode. Good holiday episode, guys.
It was a lot of fun.
We did it.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And I guess that's it. So I guess
Peace
it's
out. Word to your mom.
there. It is. Bye.
Bye.
Sexual coffee, it's only $7. Sit and sip your cup, share both your joy and hollers. Stay and drink your brew, but spill your tea. You might be the asshole or a storyteller like me. Small town cafe where secrets blend with steam. Voices rise and fall like rivers in a dream. From heartbreaks to triumphs, tales unfold. Speak your truth, let your courage be bold. Stay a while, let your heart unwind. This corner booth peace you'll find. Whether you're the rogue or sage so tall, in the warmth of coffee there's room for all.
Bisexual coffee. It's only $7. It won't break the bank.